Why was Salic law so important for medieval monarchy? Imagine a time when kings and queens fought fiercely over who should sit on the throne. The rules about who could inherit royal titles shaped the entire course of history. That's where Salic law comes in. It was a set of rules from the early days of the Frankish tribes, around 500 AD, and it had a big impact on how monarchies worked. Salic law made it clear that only men could inherit land and titles from their family. Women and their children were not allowed to take over the throne or land. This rule was meant to keep the royal bloodline pure and prevent disputes. In medieval Europe, especially in France, this law was very important. When a king died without a male heir, the law said the throne could not pass through a daughter or her children. This often caused conflicts because other countries or factions wanted to claim the crown. For example, after King Louis X died in 1316, his daughter was not allowed to become queen because of Salic law. Instead, the French crown went to his brother. This rule helped keep the monarchy stable by avoiding fights over female claims. Salic law also helped keep the monarchy within the male bloodline. People believed that a king's power came from his family's blood, so keeping it, all male, was seen as the best way to keep the kingdom strong. This idea made sure that the royal family stayed united and that the throne stayed in the family's hands. It also meant that disputes over inheritance could be settled with clear rules, which made governance easier. The law was written down, so everyone knew what the rules were. This helped kings and nobles avoid arguments about who should be king. It also influenced other countries in Europe, like Germany and Spain, where similar rules about inheritance were used. Even during the time of Napoleon, some of these ideas about male-only inheritance were still in use. However, Salic law sometimes caused conflicts. When women were excluded from inheriting, it led to wars and rival claims. The 100 Years' War between England and France was partly about who had the right to rule France. These disputes show how powerful and important Salic law was in shaping medieval politics and conflicts. In the end, Salic law was key to keeping the idea of a clear, male-only line of succession. It helped monarchs stay in power, kept the royal bloodline pure, and created rules that everyone could follow. This law played a big role in how medieval kingdoms were governed and how conflicts over succession were resolved.